Right, Kimbo White here, bedhead and all. I'm gonna do my Melendez versus Masvidal predictions, and let's just start out at the bottom here. Justin Wilcox versus Carlos Fedor. I'm gonna go with Justin Wilcox in that fight. I think Wilcox should be able to utilize his wrestling and his experience with who he's fought in the cage is going to come into play a little bit in that fight as well. He was put on, has had some impressive fights. The no contest with Jay-Z and the accidental eye poke was his last fight, but he's beat Rodrigo Dam, Vitor Ribeiro, Shamar Bailey. Let's see, he fought all the way back at Strikeforce at the Mansion too, and they had like 7 pro fights before that. So, he's a guy who's been around for a while. He's huge for the weight class, big guy, and good wrestler. Carlos Fedor, I'm not going to count him out in this fight at all. If he's going to win, it's probably going to be pulling out a submission or taking it the distance with Wilcox, so we'll see about that. I'm going to take Roger Bowling over Jaron Peoples. I don't know this guy Devin Cole's fighting here too well, and I think just out of pure experience. Devin Cole, a guy with 29 professional fights, and the guy he's fighting here is Salinas Jones, 6 fights. He's only lost 1 of those fights. Actually, he's undefeated. I take that back. His first fight was ended in a draw against Gabe Garcia. I just think that might be biting off a little more than he could chew. And Devin Cole, who is also a good wrestler. So I'm going to go with Devin Cole over this Salinas Jones. Without a lot of knowledge of Jones, just basing it off of experience, and hopefully I don't get that pick wrong. Definitely, I already said Bowling over Peoples. Billy Evangelista and KJ Noons. I don't want to sound like I'm counting Evangelista out in this one either, and he's obviously had some good fights. He's beat some really tough guys, Spirit Wolf, and a couple of guys since then. Has been one of the better fighters on the Challenger Series, but he's really, honestly, I know some of you guys are picking him. I just feel like I don't think he's going to beat KJ Noons. I think he's probably getting fed to the wolves kind of on this one. KJ Noons has kind of fought the who's who in the division, beating Charles Bennett. He's fought Masvidal, has won and lost to Nick Diaz, which is huge, and just his technical striking and footwork and ability. He's a school wrestler. Obviously, Evangelista. I don't know. Evangelista probably honestly want to stand with him, which is pretty crazy. But if he knows what's good for him, he'd try to take it to the ground. But KJ Noons is no chump. He was a school wrestler and a good one at that. So I'm going with KJ Noons in that fight. That thing will probably go the distance. Evangelista's tough and can take a punch. So is Noons. My upset pick for the night is in the next fight. I'm going with OSP, Open St. Preux over Masasi, which really is pretty crazy for me to go to pick over Gegard Mousasi, because that's something that very, very rarely see me do. and he's a heavy favorite in this fight, and almost everybody's picked him to win. And actually, Surfer Ken picked him to win by knockout. So we're going to see. But I think that Owen St. Preux is very impressive to me. And his last fights, I think he moves and fights in a similar fashion to a John Jones or an Anderson Silva. And not just because he's tall and lanky and black, because of his fighting style. You know, Phil Davis is tall, lanky, black guy. I don't think he fights like either one of those guys. But St. Preux is good on his feet. You know, he jumps around, moves very well, slaps punches to the side, and does things that are awkward, unorthodox. And I think his striking is far underrated. And he obviously, you know, would be at probably a disadvantage in the submission game, but I think have an upper hand just out of pure strength and athleticism in the grappling area. We saw Lawal just dominate Mousasi, and you know, I really feel like you know, I don't know that OSP can do all that, hold him down like that. I don't see that, but I think I see him either getting a late fight TKO or grinding out a decision victory for sure. Definitely gonna go with Cyborg in the women's fight over the little Chinese lady or Japanese lady that I don't know, but looks quite small, and will probably get smashed by Cyborg. And without a doubt, I'm going with Gilbert Melendez in the main event. Once again, it's another fight that I don't want to sound like I'm counting out Masvidal, but because Masvidal is a bad dude, and he could catch Melendez, he could win this fight, he could even do enough in a couple of rounds to maybe pull a decision out of his ass, but I don't see it happening. I see Gilbert Melendez, if he doesn't TKO Masvidal, he'll win all 3 rounds. That's what I think. And to be honest with you, I think we'll probably see a first, second round TKO. I think Melendez will just tear him up. Melendez is going to show why he should already be in the UFC, and you know, why he should be taking on Frankie Edgar's, not Jorge Masvidal's. And that's my opinion on that. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It's Strikeforce. It's not going to get any views. And probably get my UFC 141 picks up tonight. So you guys hit me back. Let me know what you think about these picks. Once again, I got OSP over Mousasi. And I got Melendez and Cyborg retaining the titles. Nunes over Evangelista. It's been the last word with Kimbo White.